Previously on Backpacker Diaries.
Planning to start from Woodenshoe Trailhead, descend down into Woodenshoe Canyon, connect with Dark Canyon, going eastbound, and exiting out of Peavine Trailhead to complete the loop. I'm getting mentally prepared to have to carry some extra water. It's not ideal, I have done it before. Stripping a couple places here. If I had more time, I could set a container here and collect the drop, but not exactly the most efficient way to source water, so I will see what else there is available. Fortunately, below the hanging garden, there's the biggest pool that is a little cleaner than the others. So I'm going to go ahead and source some water from here before I continue on to the junction. Right after filling up from that rather large pool, I ran into a backpacker from Telluride named Jason, who explained that the Hanging Garden was actually just a little bit further down canyon. So as you can see, there's a nice flowing source of water here that's filling up these couple pools here, in addition to some other pools down below. I had the good fortune to meet Patrick from Wisconsin, another solo hiker who actually started his hike from the Peavine Trailhead a few days ago. And he told me some good news actually about the water sources in Peavine Canyon. So that's putting a bit of wind in my sails, such that I'm not going to need to carry as much water, knowing that there are some puddles that are holding filterable water over there in Peavine Canyon near the natural arch. He also had some more encouraging news about the spring near the junction with Dark Canyon and Trail Canyon. So that's where I'm trying to get to tonight, and we'll see how I go. Making my way up Dark Canyon and almost to the junction with Trail Canyon, and came upon my second Anastasi ruin sighting of the trip. It's amazing how well preserved those structures are after 700 plus years. It's tempting to go and get a closer look, but I definitely don't want to do any damage to the cultural and archaeological value of such a well-preserved site. So I'm just going to enjoy it from down here with my digital zoom and look forward to the spring that's coming up here near the junction with Trail Canyon. Just now passing the junction with Trail Canyon. I'm sure there's a lot to explore up there, but I'm gonna continue on up Dark Canyon here to where I've heard there's a pretty obvious meadow with a spring next to it, just up ahead here. Today is October 20th, and I made it about a mile past the junction with Trail Canyon on my way up the Dark Canyon here in the Dark Canyon wilderness. This is going to be the last water source for a while, so decided to go ahead and filter about 5 liters. According to a backpacker I met, there is a water source if I continue up Dark Canyon after the junction with Peavine Canyon by the natural arch there. So I'm aiming to camp there tonight. Made the mistake last night of leaving out my camel pack, and the mouthpiece got chewed on by some little critter there, so that's pretty gross. My zipper on my sleeping bag broke as well, so that's inconvenient. I'll try to fix that up so it's at least functional for the next couple nights until I get back to my car. Really enjoyed some spectacular canyon scenery yesterday, and I've been seeing 2 people per day so far. Not sure if I'll see anyone today, as this is as deep as I'm going to be getting into the backcountry here on the middle day of my 4-night trip. The water source was a pretty shallow mud puddle. There was actually 3 puddles to choose from. I pulled water from the least stinky puddle of the 3, even though it was cloudier with mud. Does have a bit of an aftertaste, but I'm generally happy with the performance of my MSR gravity filter here. It's definitely taking a while to filter the mud puddle water, which contributes to my late start here today. Been getting lucky with some great weather, and I'll see how it goes on my way up Dark Canyon. You could be from Venus. Be from Mars. We would be together, lovers forever, care for each other. Just now passing the junction with Poison Canyon, which connects to Dead Man's Canyon. So not all that inviting a name, but a welcoming entry in any case. And was surprised to also find a old fence line here. Guess we're coming up on maybe some old ranch land or something. As I go further up Dark Canyon towards the junction with Peavine. Finally to the junction with Dark Canyon and Peavine Canyon. About to go do some exploring in what could be called Upper Dark Canyon. And I've heard there's some quality campsites below the arch there, where there's also some puddles to source water from. So I'm going to check that out too. If I have time, make a deeper exploration into Upper Dark Canyon to where I've heard that there's better water by Scorup Cabin. Dark Canyon Wilderness was the first wilderness area to be established on the Colorado Plateau. But to be approved by the local powers that be, there was a cherry stem provision in the form of this here dirt road that made it more palatable to the locals. So the road itself is actually not part of the wilderness area because motorized vehicles aren't technically allowed inside of wilderness areas, but that's how this road and wilderness area came to be. According to the ranger at the Monticello Ranger Station, not very many people use the road, but maybe 30 or so parties sign in at the registration box every year. So if you're down here, you may see a vehicle. Just, don't be too surprised by that. Still a very remote, lesser used alternative to other places in southern Utah that are more crowded. And you can get to see arches and Anastasi ruins without having to elbow through the crowds.
On the next Backpacker Diaries.
Temperatures down in the 20s encouraged me to get an earlier start this morning. According to the government website, this is one of the water sources. It's really nice to get back into the pondos.